The magic bells help me find what I want, what I'm looking for, and that can also help me in dangerous situations with if I want protection or if I need security, because there's an evil man in this play, and Monastatos, who's out to get Pamina, and he will sort of do anything in order to get her and attacks us while we're looking for Tamino. And I sort of protect us with the bells, hoping that they're going to do something. And so they're...
The problem is that he always forgets to use the bells. He needs something to give him good memory to use the bells. But he has to be reminded very often to use the bells.
My attention span is very short, which is also in real life too.
Just talk about it or bring certain things to the forefront, whatever she felt appropriate.
Well, I had a few ideas. So what I'd like to talk about is to pick up on a couple of the things that were said about some of the characters. Schikaneder and Mozart, it was an interesting proposition because they knew exactly the people who would be portraying all of these characters in the first performance. So they were writing for the people who were in Schikaneder's troupe. They had a very famous and well-known bass girl for whom Mozart had already written this very special aria, In Questa Bello Mano, which has a double bass obbligato. They had, their Tamino was a tenor named Schack, who was apparently quite a wonderful singer, and Mozart's father, who was very critical, is even quoted as saying that he had an extremely beautiful voice, this tenor. One other thing, this tenor was a composer, but also quite an accomplished flutist. So it's been conjectured that maybe the fact that the magical instrument in the opera is a flute was because he could actually play the flute and would be able to do that. The Queen of the Night, and you were talking, Maestro, before about all of the high Fs, that role was premiered by Mozart's sister-in-law, Josefa Hofer, who was his wife Costanza's sister, who was also a very high coloratura soprano with a very, very agile and sort of special kind of voice. And likewise, the girl, the Sarastro, for whom he had written that bass aria, also this part was made especially for him, for his voice. Papageno was played by Schikaneder himself, as was said before. And Papageno, part of the background of this character in the Singspiel was he came out of this tradition called the Hanswurst tradition, which was sort of the German equivalent of like commedia dell'arte, sort of stock comic characters. So, that was the one that was sort of supposed to appeal to the general masses, sort of lowbrow type of humor kind of thing. So that was sort of the background of Papageno's character. Papageno was played by the bass's wife, so the two of them together sort of fashioned some of these special aspects of the opera, knowing that they had certain voices, certain people to portray these things, which I thought was really interesting.
Yes, that's true. Thank you.
Sure. And I think next we're going to do the duet, or
Which duet are we doing?
by männern. By männern.
Please explain what's going on here in männern.
Hello.
Who you are.
Yes. My name is Alexandra Nowkowski. I'm a third-year resident artist at the Academy of Vocal Arts. And I will be singing Pamina. This is, you already met Christopher Kenny. And this duet is a love duet, but not between the two of them. So Pamina has been tied up by Monastatos because he wants to save her for later. And out of nowhere comes Papageno. And despite his low-class, birdman situation, she, even as this, she's a princess, she's the daughter of the Queen of the Night. Even though they're of different class, right away she connects to him because he tries to save her. And so he tells her about, oh, I don't have a girlfriend, poor me. And she says, that's okay, love will rescue you. When somebody has a good heart, they will see that you have a good heart as well. So, and they say that love is of the highest, most important thing on earth. It's almost divine. Is there anything? Mann und Weib is man and wife. So, und Weib und Mann und Weib.
Yeah, you hit it all.